Hello everybody and welcome back to United Stand. Another day, another preview. It seems like the games are just coming thick and fast. I am tired, yes, I'm sure you lot are, but it's exciting football anyway. We're in every competition we possibly can be, fighting on all fronts, and it's just actually nice to talk positive about what's happening on the pitch. Off the pitch, slightly different matter after what happened yesterday in the news that broke, but we're not even going to touch that. This is a preview. This is Palace at home, back to the Premier League. Cup week is well and truly finished. Obviously we've done well in that. 3 straight wins, into the final, into the 5th round of the FA Cup. That's put aside. 3 games in a row now in the Premier League. Palace and then a double header against Leeds. It's good that we just get points on the board right now, just to stay there where we are in that top 4. I know City have got Spurs this weekend and you'd expect City to do well, but they haven't beaten Spurs in the last 4 occasions at the Spurs Stadium. So I'm looking at it going, by the time we actually get back to playing Premier League football after these next few games, we might not even be in the top 4. So it's important that we take these next 3 games very seriously. 3 points in each, which United should be looking at and going, we need to be making these, we need to be winning these games, sorry. We need to be beating Palace here at Old Trafford, definitely. Definitely doing Leeds at Old Trafford. Maybe the Ellen Road one, when it comes to it, the following weekend, is one that we look at and go, that could be a bit dicey, that could be a bit of a tastier game, especially with everything that's on it, where Leeds are in the league, the pressure that's on Jesse Marsch and everything like that. But Manchester United have to look at what's in front of him. Like Ten Hag said, it's game by game and Palace comes first. Crystal Palace at home, we've seen what they offered at Selhurst Park. It wasn't much. United fell into the trap of dropping to that standard that Crystal Palace play at. We didn't up our game, we didn't do enough, and in the end you get your just rewards in football. And that brilliant free kick from Elise in the last minute, it hurt us. 2 points dropped in a game that we were in complete control of. At Old Trafford, it's been a different story so far this season. You expect a few more goals, but I look at Palace and I look how solid they are at the back, and then I go, I would probably go into this game thinking a close sort of win. Maybe a 1-0, something like that, like it was last season. The only thing that gives me a bit more confidence is now the options that we've got up front. Obviously, Sancho coming back, Martial coming back, Anthony playing better. Obviously, we've got Garnacho, Rashford's on fire. It now looks like we can mix it up. We're not one-dimensional, or as one-dimensional as we was at the game at Selhurst Park the other week. Weghorst, first game, kind of was just finding his feet. I expect him to be a lot better. Do I expect him to start? I think so. I think Martial probably will come off the bench again. I think that's how Ten Hag is going to play it. He always eases the players back in. Where Sancho will come into it, because I think he will come into it again, like Martial off the bench. The question is, will Anthony... Well, it's not even a question. Anthony will play. We know what Ten Hag's like. He's giving him every chance to find his form. He is getting better game by game, but obviously questions will be asked if he keeps on performing the way he is. Where does Sancho come in? I've had this debate. I seen Faz put a video up the other day of me saying no to Sancho at number 10. Then Ten Hag brings him in at number 10 against Nottingham Forest the other night in the Carabao Cup. My argument with Sancho at number 10 is the fact that Bruno plays every game. Why are we putting Sancho in at 10? I think Sancho is a starter on the right. I think he knows the right-hand side role best. He's played him on the left, obviously, but I just don't see him getting much game time as a number 10. I think we can get more out of him on the right. I think it's a waste. That's probably more my argument. I'm not saying he's technically not good enough. I don't think he's strong enough. I don't think he's adapted to that position as well as what Bruno is. I know we are lacking in numbers for that position, obviously with Eriksen out now, Donny van de Beek out. So I can see why Sancho may come across there. I don't like Bruno out on the right, and if Bruno has to go out on the right to bring Sancho in the middle, it kind of takes 2 players away from where they've done their damage their whole careers. I understand the versatility of it and why he might mix it up and change it, but maybe just do that in game. If it's not going quite well for either player in that position, maybe mix it up or something like that. That's if buts and maybes if Sancho even starts a game. Bruno will start, and I think Anthony will be on the right hand side. Midfield is where the key question comes in this game. Central midfield. Did Fred do enough for everyone to start against Crystal Palace, or is Ten Hag going to go bang? There you go. Sabitzer comes straight in midfield in place of Christian Eriksen. Honestly, I would start Sabitzer. I think we need to start looking ahead to the big games we've got and I see Sabitzer being the player that plays ahead of Fred. And I think we just need to get him used to playing in with Casemiro and Bruno as soon as possible. Build up that new rapport that we're going to need, because like I said, by the end of February, as sweet as everything looks now and as good as it looks on paper in every competition, like I said, it can all come crumbling down in the space of 4 weeks. We could only have the Premier League left by the time March comes around, and then we're looking at, well, now we're trying to find players' positions in the team for less games, and all of a sudden we've gone from one extreme to the other. Too much to too less. United obviously are in a great position right now in terms of where we are with the squad. Obviously, unfortunately, we've lost Christian Eriksen, well, Donny van der Beek, and obviously Scott McTominay. You can't ignore Scott McTominay because he would have played a role off the bench in certain games. 3 weeks, 4 weeks for him. It's a big loss. So for me, I'm thinking Sabitzer definitely starts against Palace. Get him in, get him integrated in as soon as possible. There is an argument there, obviously, that it's his first game. Do we just bring him on as a substitute, then ease him in? Do you really want to be easing Sabitzer in a double header against Leeds United, knowing what that means and how intense that fixture is? Get him in against Crystal Palace is what I say. Start him here at Old Trafford, and then we move forward. Obviously, you look at it, and there are pros to Fred being in there with his energy levels, and he hasn't played bad. Let's be fair to him. He's scoring a few goals, he's contributing, but for me, I just feel like my argument for Sabitzer playing is more important right now for the long term. Fred can do what Fred can do. We know what he's about. We need to know what Sabitzer's about in this team with Casemiro and Bruno. And the sooner we get him in and get him used to playing here at Old Trafford, and obviously being ready and battle hardened for these big games that are coming up. I'm talking Barcelona here as well, double header, which he will play in both games. His experience and his know-how internationally and on the big stage, playing in the Champions League, that's a player we need in against Barcelona. Get him in now, and let's integrate him and get him ready for these games coming up. Defensive, I think it's going to be the same as what it was against Nottingham Forest the other night. I think we'll have the same back four. I think he brought Varane in because he needed game time. Good to get Luke Shaw back. He started off a bit rusty against Forest, but he shook off the cobwebs eventually and was decent. And I do feel like that is going to be the defence going forward again now. The only time that might change is when Martinez comes out for the Barcelona first leg, as we know, because he's suspended, and then Shaw slots back in at centre-back. I feel like that's where we're going to go, and the only time I feel going forward now we're going to see that in a Premier League game or any cup game or whatsoever. I feel like the Barcelona game is going to be the only one. Will he carry on with it if it works at a new camp into the second leg? I don't know. For Palace though, I think it's as you were against Forest. Wan-Bissaka at right back, Shaw left, and then Martinez and Varane in the middle of them too. I was going to say, I'll stay the same and say David De Gea keeps his place, but obviously he comes back in the team because Tom Heaton played against Forest the other day. I actually like Tom Heaton in goal. He gives me more confidence than De Gea being there. Cue the crazy comments below, but that's just the way he makes me feel. Is he a better goalkeeper? Probably not. Would I like him behind me as a defender more than De Gea? Yes, I would. I can hear him from the second tier of the North Stand. I can't hear De Gea ever. I can hear Tom Heaton. I just feel more confident with a goalkeeper like Tom Heaton behind me and not David De Gea. I can already see what you're thinking. I know you're going to start running down the genders. Mark said this, Ben Foster said that. It's all about agendas with De Gea. It is not. It's clearly not. It's about what the defenders feel comfortable with in front of him. De Gea's going to play. So it's a little argument we don't even need to get into, but that's just what it is. That's just my opinion on it. De Gea has done well this season, he's done better, so he warrants his place in this team, and obviously in all I think he is the better goalkeeper. I just wish he could take some of the traits of what Tom Heaton does in terms of commanding his box, the way he is vocally, coming to claim footballs from corners, crosses, free kicks, whatever it may be. I just feel like he can add that to his game and get better. He's got time still, he can do more. I'm just going to say I just like what Tom Heaton does in terms of organising his defence a little bit better. Anyway, that's that. That's pretty much the team sorted. Rashford comes back in, obviously, on the left-hand side. It's a no-brainer. I think there's a nice skip delivery coming here now for me. I'm just going to make sure I'm just not going to get run over, but yeah, perfect timing as always when we do these match previews. I mean, last time we did it was a fire engine, I think, wasn't it? So yeah, It brings everything. This guy's getting a good view here in his cab next to us anyway. But yeah, in terms of the team, that's it. What Palace bring, we know, like we said, Wilfried Zaha, Elise, Eze, they're like street footballers. But if you play your cards right and you organise your defence right, then you know how to handle this team. And I think we've got that there. I'm confident that we can handle what Palace bring. It's just if United can break that low block. They've got the pace to break on us, but I feel like we've got enough pace with Martinez, Varane at the back now. Obviously, our full-backs have got oodles of pace. Wan-Bissaka pretty much had Zaha on toast in the first game. That's why I'm confident we are going to take the win and come away with the 3 points that we need to set off this mad fixture spell right now with all these games piling up. Guys, that pretty much sums it up. Everyone around here is like watching on thinking, don't know what this truck's going to do here. It feels really awkward, but that's it. It is what it is on the road, isn't it? Like, share and subscribe to the United Stand. There you go. There's your little beep. Just had to be, didn't it? Guys, cheers for watching. I'll see you for the game tomorrow.